Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. Today we're on season 6, episode number 44, the sports edition, Andy. Andy, we have a
Yes.
special guest with us.
Special guest,
You could introduce the gentleman.
number 24 in your hearts, number 24 in your scorecard, number 1 in your hearts. There he is.
Mr. Toby Hanson joins us today.
Delano Athletics. Thank you, Toby.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll start with the first part, of course. Obviously, congratulations on the state title for town ball, Class B.
Congrats. Great tournament run.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you. It was a memorable run, obviously, to say the least, and one that you'll never forget. And honestly, so many different players on our team stepped up throughout the whole tournament. Coaches managed the games really well, and honestly got to give a tip of the cap to our fans as well, man. They brought it every single day and gave us a home field advantage more times than not, it felt like. So great group of guys, great tournament for us, and one that we'll always look back on and remember and always hold a special place in our hearts. It's been a long time coming. First one since 1988, obviously.
Let's go back a little bit here to the Region 7 tournament that was in Watertown here. It was you guys, Watertown, YA, and Plato. 3 of the 4 go. So that had to be, and it blows all your energy right there. And those 2 weekends. But what did you think of that format? The round robin the first weekend, and then play afterwards. Was that kind of weird to get used to?
I don't think there was a perfect way to do it, and we were just kind of open-minded to how they set it up, and honestly, it worked out really well. We knew coming into it, one really good team wasn't going to make the state tournament. Unfortunately, ended up being Watertown, but the games throughout that tournament were awesome. The crowds were awesome. It was a phenomenal experience, especially our first year in the Crow River League, which was another great experience. But yeah, interesting format, but I think that made it for good entertainment throughout the 2 weeks.
Yeah, and because you make state off that tournament, did well in the tournament there. You had a fairly decent draw, I thought, in the state. I mean, it wasn't a cakewalk. You had tough teams, but you had the pitcher from Watertown helped out on your team. Jackson drafted him.
Jackson Hunter.
How does that feel when you guys draft another player? Here he's kind of like the enemy all year. Now he's your teammate. I mean, enemy on paper. I mean, I know everybody knows everybody. We're all buddies.
Right. Yeah. We had to compete against him. He threw twice against us, throughout the regular season. Threw really well. He's a competitive kid, so we knew what we were getting. We knew we'd get a really competitive kid, a really talented player, one that plays with a lot of swagger, really pitches with a lot of swagger out on the mound. And so we were excited to get him in that draft, and we knew we were set up well with him, and we wanted to just throw him right away. We knew he was our best option going forward, and I tell you what, man, he brought it every single game that he pitched in the state tournament, as you guys saw, and rightfully deserved the MVP of the tournament as well. So, we were lucky to get him. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I remember watching that championship game. He was itching around there. I think he wanted to go for the save too.
He wanted to come in. He wanted to come in, but we also had a lot of good pitchers there. That could still throw for us too.
So you lost Otto last year. You're the big picture. Now, where did he end up going?
Max ended up moving out to Wisconsin just for the year. That's where his girlfriend and them decided. She was still going through school and some stuff there for work. So they had made a decision to move out to Wisconsin. So, we're going to miss him we missed him for the whole summer, which obviously was a big bummer because he's one of the best pitchers in the state. He's a great kid. We like our chances here, hopefully, to get him back here for 2026. Nothing's guaranteed, but we were able to move on without him. Different guys had to step up, as we knew would have to be the case in order to make a run, and that's what happened. So, but hopefully get Max back here for 2026.
Yeah, Andy, I've got the bracket here for the state for Class B, and I don't know if we wanted to ask Toby his thoughts on a game by game, or maybe the location and how the games went, but I do have each one here. I don't know if you have it, Andy, but
I just have my one question is, you kind of know most of the teams, but you get to that finals against Nisswa. You're basically going off what you've read online, unless someone caught a weekend fishing up there and caught a game watching them.
Right.
But they had some big sticks in there. It was 2-1 early, and I was talking to my buddy. I thought this was going to be like a 8-6 game or a 6-4. This would be a high-scoring, tight game. Is that kind of how you felt going in? It was going to be a lot of runs scored?
So we were actually a little bit familiar with Nisswa just based off playing them in 2022, which, was a lot of the same guys. We played them in the Final Four in 2022. Ended up losing a high-scoring game in that one, 11-9 off the top of my head, or 11-8, whatever it was. And so we knew, coming in, they could hit the baseball. We also knew they had a couple really good arms. We came into the game knowing we're going to have to put up some runs. But I tell you what, our pitchers settled in there as the game went on. We had to bring in a couple of our relievers out of the bullpen. Jeff Foshing did a nice job for 3 innings.
Yep.
And then Cade Brewitt, young pitcher for us, came in and really held them in control. I knew it was only a matter of time throughout that game. We started out slow, but I knew it was only a matter of time before we would start hitting the ball, and that's exactly what we did. Jack Paulson got us going with the 3-run homer, and we didn't look back after that.
Yeah, you put up that 5 spot, and it was kind of over right there, yeah. It kind of took the wind out of their sails type over. It's like they're trying to plug along, and it wasn't going. Now, moving to the Crow River, kind of changed up things for your season. But how did you feel about how the records went and the games went? Like when you play a C team, how it didn't count in the records, but it counted for your stats. If you were king for a day, how would you change the scheduling and the records and stuff like that for that? The standing?
Again, I think we look back at the region format. I don't think there's a perfect way to ever do it. In our our mindset is throughout the season, whether we play in a league game or not, or if it's a C game versus a B game, we take the field and we play to win, regardless. So if one of our pitchers lines up for that day, we're throwing them. We don't save guys, just for certain games. It's just kind of our mindset. The Crow River was great, though. It was a great first year, great experience. We're very happy with our decision. A lot of great teams, a lot of great ballparks, and a lot of great players. Not to mention the fan bases that we were getting at most of our games was awesome. So, but no, we take the field and we play to win regardless of who we're going to play. Again, you're never going to have a perfect scenario. So I think that's probably the best way to go about our business, and that's what we did.
Every game counts, the same attitude. That's good attitude.
Absolutely.
Now, when you guys have those games, like I said, you've played Watertown before. You've had a handful of games here and there with some of these guys. Like I said before, you're familiar with a lot of the players from other things. But was there any games you kind of missed from the old conference? Kind of wish you could have brought that rivalry with you still?
North Star.
Yeah, from the North Star League. Yeah, we had played. I mean, you got Buffalo, Hutchinson, Loretto, Maple Lake. The list goes on and on. We just felt like in 2025, we're into the Crow River. Let's load up our schedule with other teams. But I can guarantee you we're going to be looking to put those teams back on our schedule for 2026. We ran into Hutchinson, a big rival of ours in the state tournament. So we did get a crack at a North Star League team, and we were obviously able to win that game. We missed those teams. There's no doubt about it. Another great league with a lot of great players. And I hope and I expect to have a lot of those teams on the schedule for 2026.
And also playing in Hutch, you were familiar with that field. So that was kind of nice in a way, a little home field advantage for you.
Well, what's funny is we don't have the greatest history there at Hutch. I can remember more games losing than winning, playing a really good Hutchinson team back in the day, and even getting bumped out of regions once upon a time there. So we didn't have a good history, but now I think it's safe to say we do have a good history at that baseball field.
Yes, got rid of those ghosts, if you will, or
right, exactly.
The ghosts. Now, so you're coming in next year. Everybody looking healthy coming back. No one's getting married and moving off, as far as you know.
That I know of. I expect to field another really good team. To my knowledge, most guys are coming back. Most guys are healthy. Who knows? We might pick up a couple more. You just never really know. You might lose some. That's the reality of it. We're only a week out from our season ending. So things change, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse, and you're going to get some unexpected changes. But overall, I expect to field another really competitive team in 2026.
Yep. Now, also, you do a little dabbling with the high school team out there, correct?
Oh, yes.
I do, yeah. It was I'm the head coach for the Delano varsity team. This was my first year doing that. So I think to sum up the spring and the summer for Delano baseball was a very special season. We had a great high school season. Ended up taking third place in the state tournament. We actually beat Hutchinson in the third place game. Lost to Mankato East in the semifinals 2-0. Both pitchers threw a no-hitter in that game, which I've never seen in my life.
Wow.
So it fell a little short, but you know what? It was a memorable season in the spring, and obviously we topped it off with another great season for town ball in the summer. So special year for Delano baseball and in our whole community as a whole. There wasn't a doubt about that.
Yeah, you guys got a nice stadium out there, nice field out there, like the little patio in the outfield area. That looks really nice out there. You guys always had a good, strong fan base out there in Delano. The companies sponsor you, the businesses out there sponsor you. That's got to kind of make things feel a lot more relaxed when you go there all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing you just mentioned, the baseball field, that helps a lot, right? People want to come see that field. Delano's always had a great history and tradition in baseball, had a lot of great players that have come through. They've always done a great job of hosting baseball games. People enjoy watching baseball at that ball field because there's always a good level of play on it as well. So we're very lucky. We're very fortunate to get to play all of our home games at that field each and every year. But there's a lot of work that goes into it too. And we take ownership in that as players and coaches, as we put in a lot of time on the baseball field too to make it look like it does.
And what's fun about going to games there, you got some knowledgeable fans. They know what's going on. They don't just boo if it's a bad call. They know why they're booing. They just boo. No, they know why they're booing or know why they're cheering. So
they pay attention to the baseball game. They're not just there always as a social event. They're actually watching the game and paying attention in detail, which is great.
That's what makes it fun going there. I've gone there for a couple games. I think I went to the game against you guys in Waconia this year. It was kind of fun not having a horse in the race, just kind of watching,
Right.
And you really get to kind of take it in a lot there. And that was really cool. That's why I really appreciated the knowledge of your fans. They knew what was going on.
High IQ guys.
We're lucky to have them. And they brought it.
Level.
They brought it in the state tournament. They travel out to Hutch for all 5 of our games. And like I said, we felt like we had a home field advantage most of the time. Even when we played Hutch, our fans still came out and supported us, and they were loud.
That's great. That's the fun thing about town ball too, is a lot of these teams travel well in the area. In the Crow River, a lot of the visiting teams travel pretty good.
They do, for sure.
Do you have anything there, Dan, you want to throw out?
Yeah, I got a bunch of questions here. We're talking about the high school varsity. Good job there as a varsity head coach. I think that's going to be a fun thing. I could just imagine, myself in school saying, hey, am I going to go out for the ball team or not? But you know what? It's Toby Hanson. It's a former Gopher, player at a high level for many years. You know what? I am going to go. I want to be on that team. I may not play, I may not start, but I want to be part of that experience. And I think you're going to get a big draw there going out there in Delano at the varsity level. I think Watertown had much of the similar thing with Pat Cheetah, local town hero, taking over the reins there as the head coach. And teams that do that, I think it's a different experience, I think, for the kids, having someone to look up to there as the head coach. And it's fun stuff, not to take away from other head coaches, but I think when you get that local younger stud taking over the reins, it holds a lot. And I think I know for one, I'll be following the team, seeing how they're doing, watching some of the high school games. It's going to be a fun experience, I think.
Well, look, I appreciate the kind words. There's a lot that goes into it, more than just myself, just a strong community, a strong tradition, history, as we talked about with the baseball program as a whole. That goes back a very long time. There's great athletes in Delano.
Oh, yes.
Thankful that a lot of them play baseball, so we're going to continue to keep on driving this program as much as we can. There's a lot of different individuals that help do that on a daily basis. I appreciate the kind words, but I'm very passionate and got a lot of pride in Delano as a whole, and especially for baseball. So I give everything I got on a daily basis to give these kids the best experience that they can have, just because I know the experience that I had as a player was so good, because I played for so many great coaches. I want to deliver that same experience for our young student athletes.
Yeah,
love it.
That's what we've noticed too. Yeah,
I love seeing Paul Jaunich there coaching first base in the state for all the games. Another guy with tremendous background and a long time history, and his son Trevor on the team. Our fall season is just starting, and Cole Lambert is on my team for the fall. We're gonna you got to see Cole a little bit. Trevor, we play against 2 or 3 times in the summer in the fall league. It's good to see those guys showing up, and it's good to see those guys, a very talented group. And I don't even think you used Cole at all in the state tournament. But at our older level here, phenomenal pitcher he is.
Yeah.
But you're so deep, you don't even have to bring a guy like that out. I see him pinch hit, pinch run a little bit, but I was just showing these photos here, Toby, and you know where we get these from here? Got a shout out to RK Photos. These are tremendous photos that she does here at the state tournament. Got a shout out. I went and grabbed these here from her page, but I love the work that she does here at these games, state tournament games. Andy and I covered all the Brownton games as the official podcast at the state tournament at the Brownton location. But I do like the photos that she posts as she does these games. The photography is just unreal. It's part of the thing I like the next morning after a ball game or a full day of Saturday or Sunday baseball is checking the social media and checking the photos, because there's some. I mean, between Kip Kovar and some of the other photographers there, Ryan Simonson, it's some great shots at the state tournament.
Yeah, I'd echo the same exact thing, and you can't thank all those people that cover the game. They're really the behind the scenes people, that don't probably get a lot of recognition. They do a heck of a job covering state tournament games, covering town ball games as a whole, and so we appreciate them. We don't probably say it as much as we should. So
we like to give them a shout out. I love the action shots. They're awesome. So for Class B, Toby, here was the bracket. Here was the bracket and the run that you guys took there for the Delano A's to win the title. First game, Northfield Knights. You took that game. That was in Brownton, 11 a.m. game on a Saturday. You won that game. Any thoughts? Did anything stand out there?
A good team. We faced a really good arm, or a couple good arms. I think it was kind of that, typical first round of the state tournament, though, where we came out a little slower than we would have liked, but obviously found a way to win, which is the most important part in the state tournament. And then we really took that momentum and started getting hot at the plate from there on out.
Yeah, the Hinckley Knights was the second round. You played Hinckley. This time was at Hutchinson the first time in the tournament at Hutch, and then you ran the table all the rest of the game at Hutch. How good was that Hinckley squad?
Hinckley was good. They're all good in the state tournament. I mean it too.
Yeah, and they came in with a 15-11 record, for God's sakes. And these are tough ball teams playing tough schedules. You cannot look at the win-loss record as much as you would think you can.
Right.
No, they're playing a tough schedule. They're in a tough league. All the opponents that they play are very good. So they threw a very good arm at us. Guy throwing upper 80s, close to 90. We just hung in there. We grinded out at bats. Again, just kind of pulled away as that game went on. Jackson Hunter really settled in after the first couple innings, and we didn't look back after that one either.
Yeah, and then with going back to the win-loss records, each team for Class B does get the 2 draft choices, so you really can't tell anything. You can throw out the win-loss records because you don't know who you're going to face, what the team's going to be like. Then you face the next game in Hutch against Hutch. The 11 a.m. game on their home turf, you come out winning that ball game, which must have been huge for the confidence boost for the team.
Yeah, and I look at our last probably 5 or 6 years playing Hutch. We probably have a 500 record against them, and the run differential is probably like 1 or 2. I'm not even kidding. So we were expecting another 1-run game, but the bats just got hot. Again, it wasn't 1 or 2 or 3 guys. It was 1 through 9 in that lineup. Guys were stepping up, hitting the ball left and right, and that's tough as an opposing team, especially the opposing pitchers. When we're just locked in at the plate like that, it's really tough to get us out. So yeah, it was a great win for us.
And then you move on and play YA, that a lot of people of the brackets they filled out that I saw had them or Jordan winning the whole thing. And then you take care of business against Young America. Also, now you're back in Hutch, and this is that Sunday 1 p.m. game, and you beat YA, and you advance. Then how was that YA game against the Cardinals? Another Crow River team now.
Yeah, again, another team that we actually struggled with throughout the year. We went 0-3 against them, 0-2 in regular season, lost to them in playoffs.
In the regions.
All very close and competitive games. But you look at that team, man, they're loaded. There's a reason why, people pick them to win it. They're really damn good. We just found a way to win that baseball game. It helps when you get out of the gates early. I think we scored 3 runs in the first 2 innings. That always helps us settle in. Yep. We just grinded it out, though. Again, our guys 1 through 9 stepping up in that lineup throughout the course of the tournament. Jake Nelson, we finally, everyone's like, when are you going to throw, one of your Delano pitchers? Well, he threw a pretty damn good game there too, pitching nine innings, competing like hell out there for us. So a great win. YA had a great season though. Don't take anything away from them just because of one bad game or one game that they lost. They had a great season, and they'll return again. They'll be back, with a chance to win it all again next year.
They're always in the thick of things. Then you go up against Nisswa. Now, by this time on Labor Day, the Class A and the Class C tournaments championships have been decided. You guys are the feature show essentially there in Hutch. All eyes on you, whether it's the NSPN. I watched a bunch of that game on the television. Andy, you didn't go to that. You were there. He was at the game, and it was a phenomenal matchup there at 1 p.m. And you're going up against Nisswa, like we said. You got Nate Deshane, Jeremiah Pipcorn, all these guys with the history of success offensively and defensively and pitching. They're no slouch. And then you go on to win that ball game. And I would say it was just a phenomenal tournament overall, not only for you guys, but the success for all the other sites. The Delano stuff was unbelievable to follow that stuff, but it was, between the home runs at the end. Hey, I did get, by the way, we got your home run shot here, Toby. Here's the ball coming in there from RK Photography. This was your solo shot late in the game against Nisswa. So she was able to capture that. But I do probably my fondest memory, I think, Toby, was that 2022 state tournament game in Dundas against St. Patrick, the walk-off. I was there. There,
can't
Toby.
Forget that one.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was phenomenal baseball. But you guys find ways to get it done. You find ways to get on base, get things done, advance, be aggressive on the base paths. Defensively, there's not much. There's no slouch there. Defensively, the pitching is unbelievable. The catching, Jack Paulson's certainly a good help. Trevor Jaunich, yourself, and the rest of the guys. It is fun to watch. And Hunter Jackson, boy, and he was named the MVP of the tournament for all of Class B.
Yep. And that's the thing, you look back at that tournament, I think most people knew Delano could hit the baseball, and we did. Don't forget about the defense. So you mentioned it. The defense was rock solid. The pitching, of course, was awesome. But again, I just think I look back at the tournament, and there was 13, 14 different guys throughout the whole tournament that really stepped up big in big moments for us. Just a complete team effort. We really pride ourselves on balance. We did all year, balance and depth. And it showed in the state tournament there for us. So very proud of everyone involved.
Well, I noticed the one thing, like in the championship game there, it was the non-scorebook things, the little things. Where the guy tried to stretch it for a double. Outfielder threw it in, hit the cutoff, got him out at second. Hitting the cutoff guys, stopping them from advancing, or if they tried to advance, got him out. It's the little things not in the scorebook that you guys were doing in that game too that just were so impressive to watch.
Yeah, you got to execute the basic fundamentals of the game. I preach that to our high school players, but it doesn't matter what level of play that you're playing at. You execute the basic fundamentals of the game, you're going to put yourself in a pretty good spot to win each and every baseball game, and that's what we were able to do. So,
yeah, good stuff. That's I think that's all I had, Andy. I mean, it's great to have a guy like Toby on the show there. I do want to do a shout out also to the social media. I mean, looking at the posters here that they put together. This is the Delano Class B state. I'm not sure who does this, who runs these kinds of things behind the scenes, but I'm seeing more of this from each team as they wrap up and lose or win, however they end the season. There's a nice collage of things like this from these graphic arts folks that really do a good job. This one here may have been the best one, but it shows the players, the great, the color, of course, the Class B state champions. Shout out to all the people working the social media as well.
Yeah, and I'll give a shout out to our guy, one of our players / coaches, Adam Jaunich, does a nice job with our social media. And as you said, a lot of teams are doing a good job with social media, and that's how you grow the game. That's how you grow town ball baseball, and you grow your own each individual team. So it's been very impressive to watch over the years.
I just got one last question. I noticed we were at the Legion afterwards with the game. Coach comes in with the trophy. Has Coach parted with that trophy yet? Has he shared it with everybody else? Did you guys get to pass it around the Stanley Cup and each get a day with it? How does that work?
That's a good question. I haven't seen it yet, so I have a feeling someone's holding on to it longer than they should be. They need to start sharing that thing. But we got a long time till May to hopefully all get our chance with the trophy.
That's excellent. Excellent stuff.
Nice.
I was going to say a shout out here. Our sponsorship for today. The sponsorship is this fall, the unique and free coverage of Minnesota football teams and other newsmakers via David Shamma's Sports Headliners website. Since 2006, the website has covered the local sports topics that interest readers the most and delivered content that you may not read anywhere else while providing insights about the teams, players, coaches, management, and ownership that fans follow up with passion. Visit ShammaSportsHeadliners.com. That's ShammaSportsHeadliners.com. Friend of the show, covers a lot of the sports stuff. Well, we take a lot of the amateur stuff off his plate, so he doesn't have to do any kind of thing like that. But basically covering your Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, and college, and the MEAC conference. He covers a lot in Minnesota Gophers. Hats off there to the thanks for him for that. But I don't know if there's any other questions, Toby. Thanks for your time, by the way. Congrats. When do the rings come? When do you get the rings?
I don't know yet. We haven't talked about that. Hopefully there's something in store here to get some rings. We'll figure that out, and I'll keep you updated whenever we make that decision. But I appreciate you guys' coverage. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for all the support.
I think Waconia got rings last year, and you can't let Waconia show you up. You got
Yeah, I know. So we got to look at the size of their rings and then one up them a little bit.
It's like the Super Bowl ring. I go one more diamond, and they're a little bit bigger or something.
It's got to be.
Exactly.
But congrats once again. Great season. Fun following you guys, Toby.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks again. Have a good night.
We'll talk to you at the beginning of the year.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
See ya.
Thank you, sir.